So, very good afternoon to one and all. All participants are requested to open the camera. So, on behalf of UGC Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, I welcome today's guest, Professor Dr. Madhuri Deshpande ma'am from SRTMU University, Nanded. She is here. Uh, a person with a vast teaching and research experience. She will deliver a talk on academic leadership, governance, and management. Just before going to her lecture, I will give a brief introduction of Dr. Madhuri Deshpande, ma'am. She is a senior professor and also ex-Pro Vice Chancellor of SRTM University, Nanded, ex-Finance Account Officer of the same university, ex-Management Council member, and previous Director and Head Department of Management, School of Commerce and Management of the same university, that is SRTM University, Nanded. She has a vast teaching experience of 30 years. She has been awarded PhD way back in the year 2000, and she has successfully guided 14 students in management subject, and she has also completed a research project. She has also completed one university research project, minor research project. Also, she has 43 publications. She has edited 7 books, and also she has presented research papers at national and international conferences. She has also shouldered the responsibility of president of internal complaint committee, core committee member, internal international student center at SRTM University. She has also been the convener of international conference and coordinator of orientation program of SRTM University, Nanded. Also, she has worked on the NAC peer team also. So indeed, it is really a pleasure and honor for all of us to have her here. So on behalf of UGC Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Nagar, I welcome her, and I would now hand over the session to her.
Thank you, sir. Namaskar. Shariram chaiva vachancha buddhindriyamanaansi cha niyamya pranjali tishtet vikshamano gururmukham. That is, keeping the body, mind, speech, intellect, senses, and mind under control, one should look towards the Guru with folded hands. Namaskar to the Guru Tattva amongst the teaching fraternity. A warm welcome to all the respectable teachers. Nice to connect with you online for NEP orientation and sensitization program organized by UGC Malaviya Mission Teacher Training Center, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Nagar. Thanks, organizers. Once again, I started to relook at NEP 2020, review the major highlights, major features, rethink about it, and share the reflections with you, my teaching fraternity. Feeling delightful to do that since a long cherished education dream come true in the form of NEP 2020. Any change? Slide is visible for you?
No, ma'am. Slides visible है लेकिन full screen नहीं है उसका visible.
Okay. It is changed.
It is changing, madam. It is changing.
Okay, okay. Deal with teachers, major highlights of NEP 2020 and just try to find out what it means for us, the faculty members. Basically, globally, this is the first education policy which has been formed on the basis of more than 33 crore inputs received from all sections of the society. And because of that, it's really a sheer pleasure to understand NEP 2020 and be a part of it in execution of NEP 2020. Well, dealing with this academic leadership, everyone amongst us has to perform the role of an academic leader. Because, as I said, inputs were invited from all cross sections of the society, and because of that, there is a fair representation of the expectations, dreams, ambitions of all the stakeholders. But once it is formed, once it is communicated to us, now it is our duty, the faculty members, who are having really an instrumental role in real execution of this new national education policy. Because being grassroots level, we are in a position to give true justice for the real spirit and essence of whatever just philosophy of our land we have incorporated in our NEP 2020. This NEP 2020, which was approved by the Union Cabinet of India on 29th of July 2020, presents transformative vision for India's education system. It reflects the National Policy on Education NPE 1986. Basically, it offers comprehensive framework covering school education, higher education, and vocational training across both rural and urban India. In 2020, basically, that is the first education policy of the 21st century, which is transforming higher education in our country. Based on the foundation pillars of access, equity, quality, affordability, and accountability. This policy is aligned to the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. This policy aims to transform India into a vibrant knowledge society and global knowledge superpower by making both school and college education more holistic, flexible, multidisciplinary, suited to the 21st century needs, and aimed at bringing out unique capabilities of each student. The, as I said, this is the first truly Swadeshi education policy of independent Bharat. Framed nearly 185 years after the Indian Education Act of 1835. India's remember all those glorious good old days. Indian ancient education system, it was a big once beacon of global learning. Thousands of gurukuls flourished, nourishing scholars such as Maitreyi, Gargi, Brahmagupta, Charak, Aryabhat, Patanjali, Varahmihir, Sushrut, Panini, and many more. Astronomy, astrology, yoga, medicine, linguistic, metallurgy, economics, number of disciplines and number of streams of knowledge in which Bharat contributed profoundly to human knowledge innovation. Students from across the world, they travel to India to seek education. While renowned centers like Takshashila, Nalanda, they were globally celebrated Numerous other schools, though less known, but they were equally resourceful and inclusive, and ensuring that no learner was denied education. All those who were the aspirants of seeking education from our country, definitely there was a place for each of them. The enactment of Indian Education Act of 1835, it led to the gradual decline of this indigenous system. However, the Gurukul tradition never completely disappeared. Even today, many Gurukuls they continue to function with excellence. Many institutions and organizations like Bharatiya Shikshan Mandal, they are actively studying this legacy and working towards its revival. Despite near universal literacy in ancient times, literacy levels were declined significantly by the time of India's independence. In 2020 offers an opportunity to restore the lost glory of our education system, provided it is implemented with commitment and integrity. As I said, now we, the faculty members, they are fully responsible for making this education dream come true in true spirit and its true essence. As Vivekanand inspiringly said, arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is achieved. Let's move toward with resolve to realize the true spirit of NEP 2020. We just appreciate few details of the NEP 2020. So, in contrast with what we have been doing in last many years, in contrast with that, let us try to appreciate the true spirit of NEP 2020. Thomas Macaulay's education system, it was made for colonial interest. Primarily, it was limited to the elite class. It was based on assembly line, raw material, process, then some value addition which was required for administration, which was required for smoothly running this governance of this country. It was not having the holistic kind of perspective. British policies, they focused only on traditional subjects and rote learning. But NEP 2020 it presents shift in how we think about education. Now it is not about the degrees. It is about creating lifelong learners. It is for nation building. It is for the sake making future ready citizens. It's about a more holistic and really multidisciplinary kind of education. NEP 2020, it stresses importance of inclusive education. As per NEP, holistic and multidisciplinary education, it would aim to develop all capacities of human beings, intellectual, aesthetic, social, physical, emotional, and moral in an integrated manner. Such an individual will develop well-rounded, such an education will develop well-rounded individuals that possesses 21st century capacities in fields across science, social sciences, arts, languages, humanities, professional, technical, vocational discipline. It's holistic. It's not only about academic subjects. It is about non-academic subjects also. It is about vocational education also. It is about value education also. In ancient India, gurus or acharyas, they believed in developing individuals' body, mind, intellect, and the soul. India set the tradition of holistic education through great institutions like Takshashila, Nalanda, Kolabi, Vikramshila, and many such other names also. Now, again, of history, we'll find many references which truly meant holistic and multidisciplinary education, which which had the capability of transforming the individual into a perfect person, into a perfect human being. Banabhatta's Kadambari described good education as the knowledge of 64 kalas, arts, which included arts, science, vocational, professional, as well as soft skills. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that is the world as a global village. Creation of Vishwamanav, that is global citizen, but root Indian culture with capacity of rational thought, compassion, resilience, courage, empathy, tolerance, creative imagination with sound ethical moorings, character. This is the major aim of education. There are numerous ways through which we look at education. Anyhow, at the grassroots level, when we appreciate the real meaning of the term education, it means students they should acquire life skills necessary for lifelong development. It's not only about making you capable of just developing your livelihood. That is only part of life. It's not the destination. So education is about life, creating lifelong just mindset of lifelong learning. It is not only about making oneself capable of just making bread for his or her own family and society. Develop capacities that promotes students' wellness of the student like fitness, good health, psychosocial well-being, sound ethical grounding. These are the various aspects of holistic education. Now, number of times we teachers, on the basis of whatever curriculum or syllabus that is given to us for each semester as per our workload. I mean, when we hear the term workload, it is the term itself is negative, load, something undesirable, something negative. Basically, pleasure. On our own, we have opted for this profession of teaching. And because of that, in case you are allotted a subject, you are allotted a discipline for the sake of sharing with the students, sharing with the learners, how that can be considered as a load. So, number of such kinds of negative and not so desirable connotations are there. So, we really, on our own, we are required to internalize on that and basically make a desirable kind of change in our approach, in our mindset, so as to fully contribute our 100% for very effective and efficient kind of implementation of NEP 2020. Well, now, now friends, as per topic given to me, I'll be sharing some PPTs with you. Some bullet points are there which I must share with you, and we'll have a discussion on that. Basically, as per the UGC MMTTC kind of guidelines, each session would comprise of uh, 60 minutes of some exposition followed by 30 minutes of discussion, I mean open house discussion. So there is a requirement of getting some kind of feedback from your side, making some kind of additions, objecting if at all you are not comfortable with whatever I am sharing with you. So only through such kind of interaction within the teaching fraternity, we can just be able to visualize the basic hurdles, the basic challenges in proper execution of NEP 2020. The transformation, number of changes are there. Previously, we used to have a different kind of pattern, and complete change is there through this NEP 2020. And in case we teachers, we don't give full attention and our 100% for the basic purpose of it, maybe it would be defeating the basic purpose of this policy. Now, decision makers, administrators, policy framers, policy formulators, they are not with us. Already they have done their task and they handed over this delightful kind of just challenge for us to make our country a lively, vibrant kind of forefront with future ready citizens who are capable, who are competent, who are patriotic, who are having this value education. Because, dear friends, you many of us, they are just facing some dilemmas, some questions in front of us while dealing with our day-to-day kind of purpose. As I said, BOS hands over the syllabi. We are given the examination pattern, timetable, exam timetable, daily timetable of our institute. And again, we are ready so as to perform the task. But anyhow, how we just give justice for the task, that depends on us. Whether really only on the basis of whatever curriculum is given to us, we are sharing only with the knowledge details, only with nature, meaning, scope, importance, definition kind of things with our students, then it may not be an effective and a desirable kind of step for execution of this new education policy. On our own, we are required to be in the role of a just academic leader. On our own, we should understand our responsibility for appreciating whatever needs to be done at our own level, because the situation is different for everyone amongst us. For my university, mine is a state university, Swami Ramanand Tirth Marathwada University. So I will just pose my own case study, few details of my own case study in front of you. And in the light of that, let's again try to review various features of NEP 2020. Because only for the sake of saying these are the features and this is the meaning of this NEP 2020, I don't think it is a just a good step for dealing with the topic and the very purpose of this FDP. In case I tell you whatever inconveniences I faced at my own level, what dilemmas I just faced and I tried to resolve, and the kind of initiatives I have taken for the sake of fulfilling the real aims of education in the role of a teacher. In case I share that with you, maybe it would be more appealing for you. So I joined a School of Commerce and Management Sciences of Swami Ramanand Tirth Marathwada University. Of course, as everyone amongst us, as for everyone, I was qualified, I was eligible for being a university faculty. And I joined the school, and as usual, I got my workload, my timetable, the examination pattern, and accordingly, I tried to give justice to my task. But over a period of time, I had to face a number of confusions, a number of dilemmas. I tried to find out answers to that. And at each stage, I required to appreciate that on my own, I have to do something, I have to think, I have to rethink, I have to review, I have to realize, and I have to share my reflections with the others. And then only at some point in time, I could get the feeling that I'm giving true justice for my role as a teacher, as a university teacher. Our founder, Vice Chancellor, Dr. J.M. Wagmare, he used to say there are four dimensions of university education: teaching, research, interaction with industry, and extension. So, everyone amongst us has to retrospect at each stage, at each interval, maybe quarterly, weekly, monthly, semester wise, whatever is convenient for us to appreciate what kind of justice I made with my role as a teacher, with my role as a researcher. Was I successful enough in extension work? What did I try? Was it sufficient and adequate? Or was it only for the sake of doing that? What initiatives I have taken for the sake of interaction with industry? Is it okay? Should I do something else, something more? Only for saying I'm arranging, say, industry meets. Really? It is making a sense? Some outcome, is it visible out of all such kinds of activities? Whatever we do, whatever we just at whatever step we take, at each of the steps, we have to give answers for all these questions. And then, while thinking about all such kinds of questions, we get answers. We understand our weaknesses, we understand our shortcomings, and accordingly, at some point in time, we understand what I should do for giving justice to my role as a teacher. Because what is important is holistic and multidisciplinary education, developing a well rounded personality of the students. Now, again, one just scenario I would put in front of you for the sake of, uh, as I said, I would be presenting my own case study in front of you. Because whatever I'm saying, I mean each word, I mean each statement I'm making, I really mean it from the bottom of my heart. I'm not saying it only since it is part of this NEP 2020 workshop. It's not like that. Whatever really touched me, whatever really I did, only such kinds of points I would be just sharing with you. Those reflections only I mean, I wish to share with you. Now, again, let me put in front of you a simple fact. Over a period of time, what we appreciate is literacy percentage is increasing. As I mentioned in the initial session of this initial uh, step of the session, literacy percentage, it was almost 100% at the time of independence. But later, I mean, uh, before intervention by the British. But of independence, it was drastically being declined. Discredit, whatever it is, it goes to the Indian Education Act 1835. The policies and the strategies being played by the British. Literacy percentage now after independence, it has been increasing with leaps and bounds, we can say. With this increasing literacy of society, what about the percentage of crime? Some relationship with literacy. Hmm? In case you are going through the details of terrorism, you will find that high tech, highly educated technocrats, professionals, they are contributing a lot for terrorist kind of activities. Then what is the education? What is literacy? What we are going to do with this literacy? In case some for that matter, take a simple issue. Are women safe in our country? Are they safe in our homes, in our neighborhoods, in colonies, in buses, in trains, in offices? Where we can see confident that women are safe? Why is it happening? Increasing literacy, producing good human beings, producing good individuals who are capable, competent, professional. Then why this kind of thing? Number of cases are there, number of Nirbayas every day. They are being posed on us. There is no limit of age, there is no limit of any caste, creed, any race, religion, nothing like that. Small infants to senior ladies, they are just facing this problem. Are there not educated persons who are involved in that? What this education is for? We are boasting of increasing literacy percentage. So number of such kinds of questions they face for teachers. We face teachers like us. Then what is the solution? What's missing in our education? And then when we went through NEP 2020, the number of such kinds of questions they were answered. We find answers in that, but only our 100% commitment, that is must. In absence of that, will not be, it would be again another syllabus change, another curriculum kind of reformation or restructuring. But when we just with our all our efforts, when only we go beyond the written lines, we go beyond the prescribed kind of structure, curriculum, and all that, then only we'll find that this NEP 2020 is not about sharing of knowledge. It is not only of making attitudinal changes. It is not only about making some kind, developing such kind of skills. It is about vocational education. It is about the use of technology. It is about vocational education. It is about soft skills. It is about experiential learning. And when we go through all these such kind of pedagogies and methodologies, then with that, we will get a real pleasure of developing a good human being, a kind, compassionate, and fully grown, perfect human being. Then only we'll be getting that pleasure as a teacher. So when we see that someone is troubling a girl at a public place, how many of us move forward and stop that nonsense? How many of us? In case some accident has happened and someone is just requiring medical assistance at that moment, how many of us have the courage to stop there, to give an injured person in our vehicle and move that person to hospital? Because always we are worried about our tight schedule, our emergencies, then police, what they will say, kind of just terms will have to go to the court and answer many questions from the officials and like that. So number of such kinds of issues are there, and definitely we can address all such kinds of issues in case we are giving full justice for each and every feature of this NEP 2020. At some point in time, there was a belief that intelligent IQ, high IQ means a sure shot guarantee for success. For being a successful person, high IQ, that is the requirement. But now, the concept of multiple intelligence, we are aware. And we understand nowadays, emotional quotient, that is the requirement for being happy, for being successful, and for being a good citizen. So, this dimensions of the personality, and through education, all such kinds of dimensions, they must be addressed. Social intelligence, social quotient, physical quotient, adversity quotient, spiritual quotient. Number of such kinds of facets are there of the personality, and all such kinds of facets, definitely with proper attention, with proper care, with sustained commitment, we can be able to address those. Now it is about holistic and multidisciplinary education. So it is not only sharing of knowledge, it is not only imparting of skills, it's not only about training the mindset. All such kinds of things, they are coming together, and government understands that. Honorable Kasturi Ranganji and all his just all other committee members, the respectable committee member, they understood that, and with that, they develop the draft, they develop the policy in such a manner that in case you are paying good attention to all such kinds of features and highlights of this NEP 2020, definitely as a teacher, whatever issues, whatever dilemmas, whatever inconveniences we are facing as a teacher, as a learner, definitely they would be addressed. And with that, we'll be getting real job satisfaction that really I'm contributing to nation building. I'm contributing for developing a future ready citizen in our country. But for that purpose, what is important is empowerment of the faculty. Unless and until we are empowered, it is not possible to inspire the learners. We are required to set our own example in front of the students, in front of our juniors, in front of seniors also, whenever required. And then only we can claim such kind of expectations from the other stakeholders. Now, previously, structure, it was different. There were some rigid structure, some limited options were there. Now, we have a multidisciplinary approach, and we are having flexible degree options with 3-year or 4-year undergraduate program, multiple entry and multiple exits. They are possible at this moment. So students, they are having freedom, they are having choice, they are enjoying the flexibility. Some point in time, because of one reason or the other, I wish to take a break this year. So previously the chances were remote that once again I can reconnect with the education system and I can continue with my education. But now this flexible NEP 2020 policy, it has given that of opportunity for learners. Because of one reason or the other, in case you are stopping at some moment, in case you finish only 1 year of your graduation, you will be getting a certificate. And with the certificate, again, At the opportune time, you can be able to reconnect. If this year I wish to stop, then I will be getting a diploma certificate. At the end of the third year, degree certificate a student is eligible to get. And at the end of the fourth year, in case I am opting for research degree, then at the end of the 4-year undergrad program, as a student, I can get my honors degree. Wherever I stop, there is a provision for reconnection at the earliest as per the convenience of the learner. This is a good kind of initiative, and especially for girls, for some marginalized groups. It is just like a wonder, it is just a boon, so as to be in the mainstream of education. Flexibility of the subjects. In case I'm a student of arts, but I'm interested in mathematics, definitely I can be able to do that. In case I'm studying commerce, but I'm interested in dramatics, so this facility is available for me. Online courses also I can be able to do as a student of this NEP 2020 program. In case I wish to study music along with physics and along with chemistry, definitely that facility is available now. It's interesting just knowing about the rich tradition of my country with Indian knowledge system. Officially, I'm now eligible to do that. Previously, I was not connected to that out of the just working hours and out of the syllabus. I was required to do that. But now, fortunately, it is a part of the curriculum and definitely very enjoyably that is being done. So multiple entry and multiple exits. That is a very effective kind of feature of this NEP 2020. Now with internship programs, now confidence building. Now when as a student, as a teacher, whenever we assess the personality of the students, we test their knowledge, their confidence level, their self-esteem, their self-confidence. Then we understand that the situation is not as rosy as we assume it to be. But whenever we are integrating knowledge with this internal uh, internship programs, with vocational training, definitely confidence get developed. This mobility between streams, between subjects, between institutions. In case I'm interested in being a module which has been offered by IIT. So, while pursuing education from any of the institutes, maybe at district level, maybe at local taluka level, maybe in a village, but definitely few credits I can earn from a premier institute like IIT, and therein I enjoy my learning experience. So this is how now curriculum. Previously, it was very much theoretical. It was very flexible. It was rigid. It was standardized. It had some kind of theoretical focus. But now curriculum, it has become flexible. It has become skill oriented, and basically curriculum has been integrated with vocational education. That is a welcome feature of this NEP 2020. Previously, assessment, it used to be traditional exam based. Whatever you have learned over the entire semester or over the entire year, it was assumed to be tested within 3 hours maximum at the end of the term or at the end of the year. But now, assessment, it has become a continuous feature of this education system, and it is formative assessment now. Now, technology integration, that is again one more effective feature of NEP 2020. Previously, there used to be limited emphasis on use of technology in education. Remember, pre-COVID days, COVID-19, it has granted us many benefits, out of which one benefit is we have learned online platforms of communication, teaching, learning. Zoom, many of us, they are not aware. It's only after COVID-19 we were required to do that. And after that, we became just some kind of tech literate for understanding the potential of this online platform of communication. But technology integration is an inherent part of this NEP 2020. Now, with NEP 2020, we emphasize digital learning, we emphasize online resources as well as hybrid models. That is a very effective kind of feature. As far as skill development was concerned, there was very less emphasis on skill training in previous education system. But now, NEP 2020 expects industry partnerships, practical training in all programs, in all streams of knowledge. Regarding inclusivity, there were very barriers for entry into education for marginalized groups. But now there is enhanced focus on equity, on inclusion, and there is a support, there is a structured, assisted support for the disadvantaged groups. Now, another welcome feature of this NEP 2020, that is regarding multidisciplinary institutes, choice of different subjects, multiple entry and multiple exits for this 4-year degree program along varied timelines. That is a we can say very praiseworthy kind of feature, really, which is of benefit to the students at large. Innovative education, holistic learning, Bhartiya knowledge system, generation of this uh, actionable insights, promotion of knowledge exchange. These are the various kinds of benefits which we seek out of this NEP 2020. Integration of technology with education, strategic alignment, building among the leading educational institutes, devising strategies for technology driven education, knowledge exchange, mainstreaming Indian knowledge system. These are the various basic features of NEP 2020. What basically we can say are the benefits for all the stakeholders regarding this NEP 2020? For students, what kind of benefits do we perceive? Flexibility in learning. Online modes, they are available. There is a mobility between streams, between subjects, between institutions. Then again, a timeline, different timeline facility also is available for the students. They can just fulfill their dream for dealing with multidisciplinary kind of courses. ABC, Academic Bank of Credit. That is again another feature of NEP 2020. Through that, students, they can exchange credits with other institutes. They can, this time I am free comparatively, so I can seek more credits. Next term, I may not be free because of one reason or the other. So next term, I can just at my leisure, I can give priority to my other kind of work. And within that, whatever are the stored credits are for me, I can utilize that so as to give justice to my assessment expectation. Focus on skills. So that is again one more basic feature which have been, which has been, which has benefited the students. For teachers, benefits we teachers we got out of this NEP 2020. Empowerment of faculty. This is a feature recognized by NEP 2020. And because of that, now uh, justice that is being given for the continuous professional assessment. Again, as I said, I will be putting my own case study in front of you. So I joined School of Commerce and Management Sciences, wherein there was an MBA program. So when I joined with latest qualifications, with minimum eligibility, I finished, and with that, with industry exposure, with industrial experience, I joined my school. But over a number of years, I found that there was an apprehension of being outdated as far as industrial exposure was concerned, because I had the experience of being a consultant at some good brand few years before, and now as a teacher, what kind of addition in my own skills I experience. I used to present papers in conferences, seminars. I used to attend workshops for skill enhancement. I used to organize and be a part of the industry meets. I used to take students with me for industrial visits, but I considered it inadequate. It was not sufficient for me. And then I faced the dilemma that I'm not giving justice to my task as a management teacher. A management teacher has to be industry ready forever, 24/7. That industry focus is required. But what if just work was expected from me in the university setup? So within that, I was not able to give proper justice in lines of, I mean, uh, within the timeline. I was not able to give full justice for that. I was trying my best, but still I was not happy regarding whatever I could do within the boundaries of the university system. So at some point in time, Honorable Dr. Nimse, he, Honorable Vice Chancellor, when he offered me the additional charge of Finance and Accounts Officer in my own Nantir campus, I was very glad, because now in my own campus, I would be getting the corporate exposure. I would be getting the first-hand experience of top echelons of management. Top administrator, as a top administrator, how financial decisions are taken, what is budgeting, what is auditing, how the budget has to be apportioned among the competing claims. What about the return on whatever investment has been made, the cost of education, number of such kind of issues. They were there. And when that offer was there, I grabbed that opportunity. I never said no. I said yes. I was aware about the challenges. I was aware about all possible dangers. But still, then, for being a good teacher, for achieving perfection and excellence in my role as a teacher, I accepted that responsibility with pleasure. And I said, I want additional charge. I don't want to get that exclusive charge of finance and accounts officer. I wish to remain teacher for that period. I can manage both. And with that kind submission from my side, I accepted the additional charge of finance and accounts officer. And I feel very proud to say that after that experience, my confidence, confidence, I remember that it had grown, and accordingly, now that feeling of lacuna, that as a management teacher, I'm not having enough exposure to the industry. I'm not at this moment, I'm not familiar with the top management practices. So how I can just fulfill the expectations for my students? So that feeling was gone. And now, as a management teacher, I consider myself more efficient, more confident, and far better teacher than before. With that, exposure of finance and accounts office. So this is how number of opportunities we get. Never applied for that. Never I applied for that. But when there was an offer, I accepted that without any reservation, without giving a second thought. Just look back. I myself get surprised that how is it that all of a sudden I accepted that responsibility. But the answer is, well, that kind of confusion, that kind of feeling of lack of something, it was within me. And when that opportunity was there, immediately, teacher within me, for the sake of objective or perfection and being at the excellence level, more excellent level, I took it that way, and accordingly, I tried to give justice to both the task as a teacher as well as an academic administrator. Anyhow, you you should walk your talk. Student from you the various levels of decision making. The student will express from you how you present yourself in different roles, different dimensions of the personality. Whatever body language you show in front of the student, definitely they learn from that. They understand what kind of importance, what kind of emphasis you are required to give to the person who is communicating in front of you. At that moment in time, whatever exposure, whatever experience, whatever just skill set you acquire during that procedure, it helps you a lot in reaching to the students and convincing them that they should also do whatever is in the interest of the organization being done. Learning outcome, it has to be visible, and accordingly, definitely you can just exhibit that in front of your students. Similar was the case when there was an opportunity for me to work as a core team member of International Student Center. That also I accepted that offer. I worked right from the beginning of this ICC, International Student Center, because really I wanted to learn. Anyhow, number of issues a management teacher has to learn. Multiculturalism, a beautiful dimension of today's globalized world. So definitely it has to be understood. When as a learner and student marketing, I'm sharing with my students international marketing, global scenario. Definitely, I have to appreciate the first-hand experience, and because of that, making an interaction with ICSSR, ICCR, making an interaction with the students from different backgrounds with different countries, convincing them about different admission programs at different degrees, convincing them, making them available various facilities within the framework of the university administration. Really, it was a very, very delightful and very, very effective kind of learning experience. Counseling, it was a part of the duty. Then exploring their personality, giving them suggestions, understanding who are the antisocial kind of elements, how to deal with that. So, tremendous learning experience I could get out of this team, out of this core committee member of this International Student Center. Right from drafting the admission forms, drafting the admission form, then dealing with their family profile, their individual profile, examining those, and accordingly, whatever complaints, whatever grievances they were exhibiting. So, dealing with that, it was a great, great experience of my life. So, dear friends, whenever we wish to give justice for this feature empowerment of faculty or for this feature regarding integration with vocational education, use of technology, or integration of technology with education. Many such kinds of opportunities we should seek. Being a member of board of studies, being a member of RRC, RAC, opportunities are there, different designations are there, different portfolios are there. As an external examiner of PhD, being a PhD referee, being an assessor of NAC, experiences you meet with, what practices, state of the art kind of infrastructure you see. You understand the meaning of inclusivity whenever you visit an institute. You understand the meaning of integration of technology when you visit some good institute. Remedial teaching, maybe how to deal with slow learners, how to deal with fast learners, how to take care of them. Because at the same platform, you are addressing the students, maybe for MBA, it is a matter of interacting with 60 students at a time. Definitely, there is a tremendous difference in their backgrounds, grasping level, financial background, family background, their location wise. Number of diversities are there, but still, in spite of that, you are interacting with them at the same level through the same platform. Maybe some inconveniences they are faced both by you as well as by students. When you are moving through all such kinds of experiences, exposure, whenever you have been through various such kinds of just opportunities, definitely you learn a lot, and accordingly your capacity to fulfill, to quench the thirst of the learners, it gets manifold, it gets multiplied. Sometimes we are afraid of the responsibilities, feeling that I may not be able to give justice. But anyhow, with proper networking, with proper alliances, with proper collaborations, definitely you can be able to get the maximum out of the situation. Win-win situation in case you are expecting, definitely in a group, with a group of like-minded persons, having meaningful networks with the professionals, with the experts, with the consultants. In case you are able to do that, really every day becomes a day of pleasure and a day of celebration with the students, with the peers, with the administrators, and like that. So, continuous professional development, I was talking about that. What are the key takeaways for the stakeholders? We have seen for students, the major takeaways, they are in the form of freedom, they are in the form of choice, they are in the form of flexibility, they are in the form of facilities like credit transfer, multidisciplinary courses, in the form of multiple entry, multiple exits, in the form of focus on skills and like that, in the form of vocational education, value education, and like that. For teachers, continuous professional development, that is a very, very significant kind of feature which everyone has to focus on that. And at each decided interval, one has to look back and one has to see to it that really I gave justice for this professional development of myself. I could influence the decision makers, I could appeal to them, and accordingly, I could get whatever really I was in need of. Improve teaching methods. So, experiential learning, that is a part of this NEP 2020. And because of that, this internship program, they have been allocated. For each, previously, there used to be internship only for professional programs. But nowadays, even for traditional courses and traditional programs, it has been made compulsory, which is a very effective kind of feature. It reminds about the Gurukul system of education. This Gurukul system of education, it's very beautiful, it's very fantastic. Some justice we can give for the sake of this uh, Gurukul system in our through our NEP 2020 kind of features. Now, just visualize that you are a teacher, you are a part of a good institute, and within that, there are no barriers of curriculum, no barriers of syllabi, timetable, no barrier of fixed timetable and just spending 60 minutes 4 times a week regarding this subject, having examination at the end of the semester, and on the basis of whatever you write in the examination, basing your appraisal upon that. Through that, you understand what is physics, you understand what is chemistry, but what is the relationship between physics and chemistry? When you apply principles of each of the discipline in the others, you never learn that. There are very remote chances of learning such kinds of interdependencies and interrelatedness, which was a part of Gurukul system. In the Gurukul system, all the students, they used to sit together. Say, for example, grapes. History, biology, physiology, mathematics, statistics, zoology, botany, all such kinds of subjects only through a simple subject like grapes, they were being imparted to in the Gurukul system. How? One fine morning, students and teachers, they visit a farm. See how the grapes they are grown, what kind of soil is required for that. The first experience they just go in the farm field and they examine what kind of soil is required, what is the requirement of watering, what kind of sunlight is required for the grapes to grow, how to take care of the fruit, what about pesticides, what about insecticide, how to save it from them, what kind of raw material is required, from where to seek the raw material, what is the market, to whom to market, who is your customer, how to approach your customer, what are the processing cost, how to set the price of 1 kg of grapes, what kind of climate is required for that in case some natural calamity happens, how to be safe from that, what kind of care is to be taken, how to anticipate such kind of exigencies and how to be prepared for that. What are the different types of markets available? What are the different types of marketing techniques that are available for you? How to deal with that? How to make a choice of a particular kind of market? How to set the price? How to promote your product? What kind of advertising and promotional effort they are required? On all such kinds of, but how is it unfortunate? How to store the fruit? What kind of inventory management is required? What kind of material handling equipments are required? Hundreds of such questions they are answered while you are enjoying beyond the four boundaries of your classroom and of your school or college. Say if at some point in time your transportation modes they are a failure and you are having all your fruits with you, how what to do with that? How to deal with that kind of problem? What are the possibilities of processing of fruits so as to avoid the wastages and losses? What are the possibilities of that? So this is how only putting our attention on grapes and only through a simple visit to a farm, you learn a lot regarding different subjects. You learn economics, you learn marketing, you learn geography, you learn uh, environmental science, and many such kind of things. Catering, that kind of activity also. You learn cooking, serving the fruits, making some kind of processing on fruits, developing different kinds of processed products, how to market, who is the customer. No, that beauty again we can bring back out of this NEP 2020. Our own level, we teachers, we can make efforts for that. System is there, examination system is there, but anyhow, how to form the questions? What type of questions? Should we go for an open book examination? Should we go for MCQs or descriptive questions? What is the role of written examination? What kind of objectives they can be sought out of oral examination? Surprise test. Hundreds of Bloom's taxonomy you must have been through. So different dimensions are there and you are required to choose few dimensions out of it whenever you wish to give justice for various features of NEP 2020. Universities and colleges. What are the takeaways, key takeaways for these universities and colleges from NEP 2020? Autonomy in governance, autonomy in curriculum design, focus on research, focus on innovation. These are the different features which institutions can enjoy through implementation of NEP 2020. Because simply flexibility, that kind of freedom, it is a part of NEP 2020. Industry, what do we get out of this NEP 2020? So industry people, they get skilled workforce. They will say industry, they practice of appointing a professor of practice in the institute. This professor of practice can do literally wonders in the educational institute. What do they look for in a graduate, in a particular kind of student? What the industry expects very clearly, they can communicate and they see, they can just get it done through their involvement with the curriculum, with the examination system, and all that. Stronger industry and market linkages, industry and academic linkages, we can seek out of this NEP 2020. NEP 2020, it understands that education is not for making livelihood, it is for life, it is for making life, but still then there is a focus on employability. Sharpening of some of the competencies and some of the skills, definitely that's being sought out of this policy. And because of that, this employability is under focus, although more emphasis is on development of lifelong learning kind of attitude. So definitely NEP 2020, it encourages continuous learning. It provides opportunities for the working professionals to upskill or reskill themselves because now there is a flexibility. Short-term courses also are there delivered and just diplomas also they are available as well as degree programs again they are available. So without any break, career break, student they can pursue now education as per their requirements at their own terms and conditions. Different collaborations are there between universities and industries, and because of that these programs, through these collaborations, some program they become more relevant and more meaningful for the career growth. Because of this stronger academic industry linkages, the learning outcomes more prominently they are being achieved, and more dynamic and more competent kind of students they get developed. There is an emphasis on promoting multilingualism. There is a emphasis on Indian knowledge system, value education, integration, integration of this vocational and technical education in this curriculum. Teacher learning, quality assurance mechanisms they are introduced, and with that quality of teaching, quality of learning that can be ensured. Modern technology is available so that virtual classrooms they are available, learning is facilitated through virtual classrooms, online collaborative tools are available, interactive digital teaching learning platforms they are made available, and it's very much easy to use experiential learning methods such as field trips, project-based learnings, hands-on activities. Very easily they are being made available, and through that, education becomes a joyous affair, and there is more and more joy and delight in going to an institute, in having interaction with the teachers, and accordingly make learning a joyful and delightful kind of experience. Many provisions they are like that. Only active involvement, sustained commitment of the teachers that is required for that. Now, uh, it was NEP 2020. It was communicated to us, it was declared in the month of July, 29 July 2020. So it is more than 5 years we have been dealing with this NEP 2020. So definitely with that, number of positive signs we observe in case we want to examine the progress and progress in implementation of this NEP 2020. It's a ambitious kind of policy. So within a year or within 5 years, definitely full-fledged implementation that is not possible. Through phases, we experience step-by-step kind of approach for making NEP 2020 fully operational and fully executable. But anyhow, good progress we have made in reaching towards NEP 2020, a good experience. Like total enrollments, they have increased to near about 4.46 crores, near about a 30% increase since 2014-15. Female enrollment, it has surged to by 38%. And gross enrollment ratio for ladies, for women, it has been surpassing this gross enrollment ratio for men. That is a welcome feature. There has also been sharp rise in PhD scholars, especially among the women. There is great participation from SC and ST communities. I mean, from official sources, I'm just sharing these figures with you. Female PhD scholars, they have grown by 136%. Gross enrollment ratio for ST, it is increased by 10%, and it is increased by 8% for SCs. So this is how it is expected that each higher education institute, it has to prepare strategy paper so as to achieve the vision of Vikasit Bharat by 2047. A clear plan, it's clear strategic plan that is required, which would be multi-phased, which would be presenting a multi-phase and multi-step approach in moving towards the entire picture of NEP 2020. We have to ensure that institutions they empower students to be job creators. Efforts are required regarding that. Just now I spoke about focus on employability. At the same time, focus on developing entrepreneurial mindset of the students. That is again one of the facets of this NEP 2020. Increase in GR, by 50% by 2035 in the next 10 years. That is the target being given. So we have to promote school education, we have to promote open universities, we have to seek online courses, plus traditional methods for the sake of achieving that kind of GER. There is a national curriculum framework for secondary education, for adult education. Uh, we have a technology forum like National Education Technology Forum. There are Swayam curricular based programs. There are MOOC courses. AI personalized techniques are there. So by using AI techniques also, we can become more effective for ensuring personalized learning. There is a need of capacity building of the teachers, because quality education for all very easily it could be sought with technology. In case technology we are integrating with education, definitely we can very easily we can reach the target of quality education. Then teaching learning research, that is again becomes very easy and approachable with the help of technology. So minimum years, minimum hours of in-service training for every teacher, that has become mandatory, and accordingly, we understand that number of initiatives are there, like Nishta Kaushal and all that, Nishta elementary level secondary courses at various levels, Ullas, Vikasit Bharat. Number of initiatives have been launched by the government, and with that, opportunities are given for the students to uh, upskill, to reskill, to cross skill, and again to make them eligible for being at the topmost echelon of this administration as well as research and teaching. Students first. Basically, that is the requirement within various global initiatives, global perspective. It has to be considered. Internationalization of higher education. That is again one more important feature of education. And with that, number of such kinds of initiatives they have been launched. So, students first indicates experiential learning, vocational digital integration already we talked about. So students pedagogy, that is the need of the hour. So student has to come to the educational institute with an hope to learn with joy, to learn with interest. So a vibrant learning environment, vibrant learning kind of atmosphere, it is expected out of this uh, all the details regarding this NEP 2020. Sustained commitment of the teacher, that is the need of the hour. So this is how number of such kinds of initiatives they have been incorporated, and with that, education definitely it is based on learning outcomes. So before just planning uh, about any teaching learning initiative, one has to begin with drafting learning outcomes. And in the light of learning outcomes, a plan has to be made regarding how to interact with the students. Secondly, personalized education, that is again the requirement from the student teachers, and AI based applications very conveniently we can use for the sake of making this enjoyable kind of personalized education. The student may be an average learner, maybe a slow learner, or maybe a fast learner. Personalized approach that is required, and with that, the curiosity of the students it could be fulfilled, and accordingly, more and more dimensions they can be given for the sake of development of the student potential. Education on a mass scale with aggregate competencies, that is again one more feature that deals with this different features of NEP 2020. Well, friends, uh, we are now at the time to break for just refreshment within the session. Initially, I said 60 minutes of sharing of a few ideas followed by 30 minutes of discussion and elaborations. That is the requirement of this session. So, next session after 10-15 minutes will begin, and within that, I expect the session being open from your side. Whatever ideas I shared with you, whatever my personal experiences I shared with you. So, friends, I wish that uh, you talk about those, whatever has appealed you, whatever you are agreed, or whatever you disagreed with me, whatever it is. I wish the session being open from your side. So let's have a break of 10-15 minutes, and then we'll connect again for dealing with different aspects of academic leadership. Few case examples I just shared with you. Few more examples again in the second session. I'll be sharing from my side, and I hope your own examples also you'll be sharing in the next session after being refreshed. Shall we take a break? Put your comments in the chat box. I don't know whether you can be able to unmute yourself or not, but definitely you can put your say in the chat box. Okay. Let us have a break, and thereafter, in case you can unmute yourself, talk with me, share your reflections with me, or otherwise, chat box is available for us. Okay. We begin. Thank you. Roll number 53. JBL charge 4. Roll number 104. Roll number 28 for your nice words. Let me again read your comments and accordingly. Mitali Mittal, she has said that by adding some small visits on the syllabus and topics time to time will be good for students in learning. Really, ma'am. I used to do the same. Sometimes online, sometimes offline. Sometimes maybe taking student to the place, or sometimes maybe uh, just inviting the guests from outside. This kind of various kinds of interactions with various individuals from various streams of knowledge, we can get good exposure at the workplace. Uh, Dr. Arshad Bhatt, thanks. He has said that um, it will be better to implement experiential based learning from the schools, not in the higher education sector, because neither teachers are ready due to high workload and not students are ready for this. Because usually things that are implemented in the middle level are not having too much impact. Well, but sir, uh, from the school level also, number of initiatives they have been incorporated. But again, at this level of higher education also, we are required to reinforce the experiential learning, whatever exposure they had in the at schooling level. I understand about the workload and number of responsibilities, number of roles we have to perform. But in spite of that, in case at at this level, in case you are giving them a meaningful kind of exposure, definitely uh, it becomes more effective for them. It is not that in every semester or in every month or in every week we have to give them that kind of exposure or that kind of learning experience. As per the convenience, as per the priority, as per your leisure, you can do that. But definitely, when you do that, the pleasure is uncountable. Easy to understand the topics more deeply. Very true. With regard to value added courses, there should have been course which actually would add some value to the degree. But we are still providing traditional course in VAC basket. Uh, from this point of view, I said that we are as teachers, we are required to give our 100% because we in the BOS, we are in the board, and whatever subjects we are incorporating from amongst from the teaching faculty, it has been offered. So in case we are become more proactive, we are become more, we take initiative, definitely uh, that would be heading for the betterment of the situation. From amongst people, they are a part of this authority or decision making kind of committees. So the more we involve, the more we contribute, the more benefits we'll be seeking. Regarding Dr. Ruby is saying regarding multidisciplinary are facing problems, everyone cannot afford technology. That's economy problem. Nothing is free. I accept. some infrastructure bottlenecks are there, some scarcities we are facing. But whatever we have to begin, and in due course of time, because it takes time, I understand. Because my university also is located in a rural area. So number of issues we are also facing, like power cuts, low voltage, number of issues we face. But in spite of that, we should keep our zeal alive. We should keep our learnability 24/7, and with that definitely we can influence the decision maker, and seeing our desire, seeing our determination, definitely uh, infrastructural facilities they are being provided. I'm speaking whatever I say from my own personal experience, I'm sharing with you, because I belong to a state government university, state university. So some bottlenecks were there, some rigidities were there, some inflexibilities were there. But whenever truly from bottom of your heart you want to do something, my own experience says number of people they are there to help you. And from my own capacity, because as I said in this first session, when there was an opportunity to me for being for just getting an additional charge of finance and accounts officer. So one line of just argument was that uh, I got a UGC major research project. So I was tied up with many formalities, many applications, approvals, and all that. At some point in time, I've said, why did I apply for this major research project? Because my time is being wasted only on drafting, only just going to the clerk, making a call to him or her, and then seeing that what kind of bottlenecks are there, how to redraft, how to restructure the decisions and all that. So when I got that opportunity to be in the chair of finance and accounts officer, I said I should seek that opportunity for finding out really what is the problem. Why teachers they are facing many issues. So I took it as an opportunity. I sat in the chair and I experienced that some problems were there because of some manpower problem was there. And one basic problem I understood was some communication gap was there. Uh, some change in words or change in phrases they were expected from the clerks, from the administration, because they were worried this some security problem, some insecurity problem was there, some uncertainty issues were there, and because of which they were doing that not only to trouble someone, but because really they were scared, and because of an effort to ensure their safety, some delays and inconveniences they were being observed by the teachers. When I experienced that at my own level in my own institute, I tried to resolve that. Whenever I was there, the new accounts code it came up. So immediately I took a workshop, and I invited all the teachers of my campus and my own. I explained all the features of that new accounts code, and I said, understanding all these, in case you are putting an application now, there is no reason for someone to reject that. Whenever you know all the details, and whenever as per the procedure and as per the provisions you are putting an application, so there would be no issue of any kind. So at our own level we should seek some efforts for the sake of betterment. Thank you, Anita. Thank you, Abdul Wahid. Thank you, Vilas Gaikwad, for your appreciation and for your nice words. Mrudula Deshpande, roll number 82, she is saying, as per NEP, a student from engineering and management can opt for music or dramatics. In that case, the institute might not be equipped with necessary expertise in these niche courses. Doesn't have NEP have certain guidelines on these? Basically, in due course of time, NEP in 2020 envisions uh, multidisciplinary institutes only. They are saying that only due course of time, a single discipline kind of institute they would be phased out. and only multidisciplinary institutes they would flourish, they would just remain, and they would work for the sake of the students. So to begin with, what is available, whatever expertise is easily available with that student, they have to be content with. But over the years, some with some collaborations, with some linkages, with networking facilities, students they will be getting all kinds of benefits. In my Nantir campus, we have School of Foreign Languages, literature, linguistics. We have a School of Fine and Performing Arts. So because of the School of Interdisciplinary Studies, so we had many conveniences. Even before launch of NEP 2020, we have CGPA, CBCS kind of system, and within that, we used to have inter-school credit transfer and intra-school credit transfer. So ours is the School of Commerce and Management Sciences, within which we had Department of Commerce and Department of Business Management. So we used to have a some kind of credit transfer within the school, within the departments, and again with other schools also we used to have some department. Mass communication, journalism also is there. So for being radio jockey, for being just journalism and all that, we used to have some linkages. So, of course, in the initial phases, some inconveniences might be faced, but of course, uh, in due course of time, they would be eliminated. No problem with that. Thank you, Dr. Ruby. Thank you, roll number 47. Well, I hope you are happy regarding whatever just uh, answers I provided in the light of your chat box, your comments in the chat box. Anything to be added or anything to be objected? Thank you, Dr. Ruby, Dr. Roll number 47. Thank you, Dr. Bhatt, Dr. Neelam Mahale, Dr. Rupa Khatun, Dr. Vibha. Well, I would like to move to the next part of the presentation. In the meanwhile, you feel like talking with me and sharing something, you are welcome for that. So, talking about academic leadership. Some examples regarding this academic leadership, I'm just put in front of you. So there is no point in waiting for the others to provide facilities to us. At my own level as a teacher, I should think of whatever I can give to my students, whatever exposure I can have, whatever updation, uh, wherein, wherever it is available for me, whatever is convenient for me. Accordingly, I should just put a request to the respective authority, and accordingly, I should be able to get that. So, already uh, doing that. Similarly, at some point in time, Dr. Pandit Vidyasagar, the Honorable Vice Chancellor, he just offered me to head the Internal Complaints Committee, ZS Cash, Gender Sensitization kind of committee, grievance against harassment of women at the workplace. So I accepted that kind of responsibility. And really, whatever experiences I had at that time through several cases, so it was a tremendous learning experience for me. I was with my own colleagues at my own campus or at my own Dantit campus. In spite of that, uh, reading about the human tendencies, knowing about a personality, knowing about their hidden intentions, then again the cross communication, the number of things I learned from that experience. And then gender sensitization, it was a basically at each moment we should grab the kind of opportunity for the sake of gender sensitization. So the focus became more clear. In the capacity of president of the GS Cash, I learned a lot, many, and the reflections. Time to time, I used to share with the others, and accordingly, uh, it made me more confident, more alert, and more sensitive toward the gender issues. Because many times we meet with conveniences, we meet with good people only, so we have good experiences only, and therein the black side of the dark side of the situation, we are unaware, and because of that, we don't share that kind of thing to the young generation. But this presidentship made me realize that there are bad people also, and accordingly I could convey to my students, girls as well as boys both, uh, as a manager, how to conduct the meetings, how to represent yourself, how to get along with the others. I was more prepared. Myself realized that now I have become more proficient in communicating these to my students at a different level. So, whatever self development and whatever individual learning is there, definitely uh, comes out for when we stand as a teacher in front of the students. So, definitely, it is good that you should have many such kinds of experiences. The more exposure you are having, the more responsibilities you shoulder. So, on your own, you understand that you are becoming better and better. So, that is the beauty of this continuous learning kind of process. Wagmare sir, Honorable Wagmare sir, he used to say, a teacher is a student forever. So, literally, through all such kinds of experiences and exposures, I realized that each moment is a moment of learning. Not a day was just went west without teaching me something. From my students, I learn a lot. And that's why in the beginning, I chanted that verse indicating that I bow in front of the Guru Tattva amongst you. Because everyone knows something, everyone has some kind of remarkable virtue or attribute that uh, others they can learn from observation by being with them. So it would have been good in case physically we are meeting and we are having more deep and meaningful kind of interaction. But in our online mode also makes me just realize that I have learned a lot out of this exposure, out of this interconnectedness with you. So some of you, they are keeping your videos open. Thanks to all of you because I don't read the number. There are only roll numbers and some Vivo X200 FE and like that. So I can't make out who is there. But anyhow, all those like Vibha who are keeping their videos open. So thanks to all of you. Because seeing your expression, I understand what I should say next. Thanks, Dr. Gaikwad. Seeing the faces, there is more inspiration for understanding your expectations from me and trying to deliver those. Because over all these years, thanks, Dr. Mittal, over all these years, number of experiences we made. Because as a NEP professor, also, I learned a lot. Meeting a new institute from a different state, from a different environment, meeting all those experts there, learning their best practices, finding out some shortcomings, and making them realize that this is how you can go for betterment. It was a very delightful and very great learning experience. So, this is how. meeting people, that is a very good opportunity for learning something. Always there is a betterment. In case you meet a good person, you know what kind of good practices they are to be adopted. In case you meet not so good person, you know what is to be avoided, what is not to be done. So this is how everyone makes you learn something. Everyone is a teacher and everyone is a learner. So that's what truly I believe in. So from my students also, I used to learn a lot. So this is how, through such interactions. Now, you must have experienced like me that whenever all alone you are independently, you are thinking, and whenever you are talking with someone, whenever you are talking with someone, whatever never you realize, so with your just knowledge comes out, and you are stunned that how I never had this idea, how I could just I was able to express that. So that is the beauty of interaction, that is the beauty of discussion and brainstorming. So when someone is with you, then you are more inspired to share, to learn, to ask, to say, to advise, to get counsel, and like that. So this is how academic leadership, administrative leadership, it is a great thing. It makes you realize many things, and it makes you a happy person always. Then whatever subject they have been given to you, it is not like workload. It is a work pleasure for you instead of load. You take it as a pleasure. Because for me, same thing happened when I joined the university. It was a just struggling time. Initial raising days were there. So a newly established university. So we didn't have any independent school building also. So only two halls were there. There was a uh, some quarters abandoned by the B and C, and within those, we used to conduct our classes in the initial phases of our university establishment, 94, 95, 96, and in those days. So one by one, building was built up. But during those days, we had a great learning. One class I used to conduct in the building of Maharashtra Gramin Bank. One class I used to conduct in a post office building. After regular work, postal working hours, the room was vacant, and therein we used to go there for conducting a class on specialization and like that. So this is how we worked. But it was a uh, good learning. It was a great learning, I would say. Rather, I take it in these ways. I miss those days because inconveniences were there, because it's an opportunity to test our own capability, to test our own, uh, we can say, talent or stamina. Uh, when I joined School of Commerce and Management Sciences, we four teachers joined together. Two of them they left because of some their own reasons. Then only two faculty members we continued with that. 60 students in each class, that was the intake in those days, and only we both of us were there. So when the remaining teacher, she used to deal with administrative matters, and I was the academic one. So what we used to do, I used to go in the class. So only we two workload was not finished. So we used to invite senior teachers from other affiliated colleges. So they used to come after their regular working hours were completed. After they used to start at 7 or 8, and after 11 or 12, they used to come to our university and uh, just give justice for whatever topics they were allotted to them. But until they come, I used to be in the class. So because in case I leave the class and student they are coming out, they would not be coming back for the other teachers from other colleges. So I used to be in the class until the teacher enters the class. I used to be in the class, and thereafter only I can leave the class and hand over the charge to the teacher. So it's not counting 1 hour, 2 hours, maybe 3 hours continuously. I used to be in the class dealing with different subjects, making some kind of formal as well as informal discussions, giving them counseling, some mentorship, and like that. But anyhow, that was a learning. I never take it. what kind of load I'm having, and all alone I have to do that. And how is it that 2 and 3 hours I'm in front of the students? I never took it that way. Took it always. I used to take it in a positive way, that it's an opportunity for me to check a student, teacher within me. At times, we used to combine MBA and MCOM classes because of the scarcity of teachers and like that. Because recruitment ban was there, and some few teachers were there. Then slowly, in due course of time, we started DBM, then we started MCOM, but teachers were less. For that purpose, again, we used to combine the classes. I remember I used to deal with business policy and strategic management, for which there used to be 4 hours a week for MBA, for MCOM, and 5 hours a week for MBA. Syllabus was different, but in spite of that, 2 hours of MCOM, they were in combination with MBA, and 2 hours were independently for MCOM. So maybe some of you will think, how did a teacher can give justice to such kind of distribution of kind of work like that? But anyhow, I now, at that time, maybe some pressure was there sometimes, but now I feel that it was good that I faced such kinds of adversities and such kind of challenges, because now I take it as a matter of pride. I'm very much glad when I remember all those days, and it brings a sweet smile on my face that, oh, really, I was able to do that and I could give justice to that. So this is how number of just tasks they were imposed, number of just rigidities were there. But anyhow, with a positive kind of outlook, we have to take it as a learning opportunity. So definitely, in due course of time, it becomes your strength. You stand on your own feet with confidence, and you know that now, uh, through these phases I have been went through, now I can survive in any situation and in any circumstances. So this is how we should look at what academic leadership is about. There are administrators, there are academicians, there are head of the institutes, they're doing their task. There are various committees, they're doing their task. What is my role as a faculty, only sheer faculty? So, should I only rely on them? Should I only obey their instructions being given? No, not at all. At my own level, I have to assume my own leadership, and I have to give justice for my task. Again, I have to give reference of Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. Wagmare. He used to say, ask what not the university can do for you. Ask what you can do for your university. So why always to expect things from others? Charity begins at home. You have to level decide what you can do for the university, and definitely in turn you'll find that you are having no number of good moments and good experiences with you. Really, it becomes when you do good for others. I believe in a very just, we can say, elementary kind of philosophy, like when you do some good for others, the good will come back to you in manifold ways, different ways. So, always with a positive and optimistic way, you should look at the situation, and therein adversities very easily they would be converted into favorable kind of condition. So, what is academic leadership is about? It is about strategic vision, developing a vision. So, institute's vision, mission, that is clear, that is known for everyone in the organization. Every stakeholder knows that. But how? Whenever I know my strengths, my weaknesses, my opportunities, it is a very good thing for me to understand that in the light of my own priorities, in the own light of my own strengths and weaknesses, how I can relate with the institute's strategic vision, how I can contribute for the institute's basic vision. So this is how everyone has to think about that. It is not only a matter of the heads of the institutes, it is the task of everyone, from top man to lift man, we can say, everyone has to think about that. Then everything it is about change management. Because I have been teaching marketing management. That is my specialization. So why do you give me personal management? Why do you give me HRM? Why do you give me accountancy, which I never taught? Why should I deal with disaster management? So never such kind of questions I ask. When in 96, I joined as a full-time faculty in School of Commerce and Management Sciences, new syllabus was launched. And therein there was a new paper of business entrepreneurship. Business entrepreneurship, it was not there in my curriculum when I did my MBA. It's not there. But the HOD gave it to me. I went to the library and I started preparing. When I went to the library, there was not a single book on business entrepreneurship in 1996 in my own. Now my library is state of the art library now. Many visitors they appreciate that. But in those days, it was in only in the beginning phase. It was a beginning stage. So there in single book was not there in business entrepreneurship. So I went to my alma mater, my university, Marathwada University in those days in Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar. I went there. I borrowed some books from there. Now, through acquaintances, I went to MCED, I went to People's College, local college, I went to Yeshwant College. Whatever sources I had, I approached, tapped those sources, accordingly got the books, had an interaction with seniors, whoever were accessible for me. And accordingly, I developed the subject. I like the subject so much that uh, at my PhD, I registered for the same. I was interested in women entrepreneurship and it became my area of my interest. I become so involved in that when there was a minor research project, when there was a advertisement for major research project, in both the situations I applied for it. Firstly, for minor research project, I opted. Now, I'm not trying to boast in the view of academic leadership. As I said in the beginning, I'm trying to give you my own case study, how I did that. Because whenever I say that change management, that has to be a part of the teacher, every teacher may fail that. How is it change management matters to me and why I should do that? So with the help of my own example, I'm trying to convey that this is how I imbibe change management. Subject was not there, but anyhow, when it was given to me, I started to learn. I went to different places. And when I went in the class for the first lecture, there was this, I got an introduction from the student. One of the students was from engineering college and he said that I'm registered for PhD in entrepreneurship. And I was a learner in that. As a teacher, I was a learner. Just started reading the book on that. And my student in front of me, standing in front of me, and he's saying that already he had registered for PhD in the Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar. So such kind of challenges were there. But I used to be always with Frank. And I used to say that now I started learning this. This is what I understood. In case something is there that you don't agree or something you can add, by all means you can add that. So with that kind of open approach, I just always I used to develop friendly relations with my teachers as well as my students, with my colleagues, and with that definitely I'm very happy that I had fun as a teacher, as a researcher. It was a great learning experience, and I really very happy that I contributed in various capacities for my university, for my school. Like now, I was in the last year, and then approaching the retirement, and then as an MC member. I wanted to attend the last meeting during my tenure as management council member. I only went there for the meeting was scheduled in the vacation. Uh, just a moment, there is an important call. Please wait for 2 minutes. I'll be back. So uh, I wanted to vote for the meeting, the last MC meeting. It was, I mean, my last as a director. It was last session for me within that year, and I went to that meeting for the sake of voting for the Pro Vice Chancellor. Because during my experience with finance and accounts officer, I decided that I would not apply for vice chancellorship. I was very much happy as a teacher. So I never opted for that. Only for the sake of voting, I went in the meeting. But whatever happened in that meeting, that Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Mahanavar, he declared my name as Pro Vice Chancellor, and I could not say no. I was not prepared for that. I never applied for that. I was not ready. But anyhow, when I thought that some situation was there, and within which all the MC members they accepted my name, and they wanted that I should take the responsibility of being a pro vice chancellor. I responded, and accordingly I accepted that. But anyhow, as I said, uh, learnability was there. So right from day one, whenever any note used to come to me, I used to talk with the person for just, and I used to request that person to explain me whatever is this situation. And I started reading various statutes, various ordinances, laws, and accordingly, I could give justice to my role as the institutional head. Mahanavar sir was having the additional charge of our university. He was full-fledged vice chancellor at Solapur University, Ahilyabai Honorable Honor Ahilyabai Holkar, Solapur University, and he was having an additional charge. So weekly once, mostly he used to visit our Gyantik campus, and the whatever communication was there through WhatsApp, we used to make that. Through mobile calls, we used to have an interaction. But accordingly, I was able to give justice to that task. Main issue was learnability, and whatever is needed for my institute to be done, I have to do that. So that was the spirit. So this is how I was ready for, with reference to change management. I'm giving that example. So I was ready for that change. Never it was in my bucket list to have that kind of position. But when need of the hour was to contribute for the betterment of my institute, and there was a request from some honorable persons, definitely I honored that request, and accordingly I try to represent human face of administration to the society. No, because being the first women at the top position, right from the within last 25 to 30 years, there was no women leader. As even as finance and accounts officer, I was the first woman. Even as a pro vice chancellor, I was the first woman. So I could visualize, and I could just see what is the impact of that on the women wherever I go. Girls and women, they used to greet like anything. They were very much happy. They were very much surprised that when they used to see me leading that kind of any session or any holding a meeting, what kind of impression was there among the other women and other girls. I was really stunned with that, and I thank God for just giving me that opportunity, so that impressionable minds of the girls I could influence with that, and they could understand that still in this 21st century we are doing a lot in this AI technologies and all that. But in spite of that, still now some kind of feeling of inferiority is there. And with that, when you see a woman leader and she is appreciated and she is inspiring the other, that is a very good feeling. So this is how collaborations, they matter a lot. Change management, because whatever whenever technicalities you are not very much perfect with, so definitely you have to rely on human relations. Definitely you have to believe people. They have to you have to appeal to the goodness and kindness among the people, and you have to get the things done. So I was very much happy. I used to believe people, I used to trust them, I used to ask them, I used to request them, and accordingly, very successfully, I could just give justice to my task as an institutional head. And accordingly, because it was only a matter of learnability, it was only a matter of assuming leadership on my own, because it was my own university, it was my own place, wherein I was aware of number of inconveniences. I was aware about many achievements. I knew the people. People believed in me. We used to know each other by name from years together. So that was the beauty of honoring that kind of position and giving justice to that kind of task. So that feeling is required. Otherwise, it was not possible, because never in my life I developed myself that way, because I was very much happy as a teacher, having interaction with different curriculum design, regarding lectures, regarding various sessions, adding creativity and innovation in the teaching learning methodology. I was very much happy with that. Being an entrepreneurship teacher, I used to enjoy a lot having interaction with different faculty members and having interaction with different students from different streams of knowledge, and having an interaction with them, teaching them how to be entrepreneurial, conducting some sessions, then getting a feedback, getting a follow up to the interactions. I was very much happy with that. So never in my mind this idea came up, but all of a sudden, without my knowledge, without any anticipation, I was just required to honor that responsibility. I could give justice with that, because learnability was there, because willingness was there, because I was ready for change management. I learned the technique of change management. So immediately I change. So some of my just activities. I changed my priorities, and accordingly, I am happy at this moment that whatever wanted to do, I did that. So collaboration again is having a very good role. Whenever uh, you are working in an honest and sincere manner, whenever people understand you, never you go for any manipulation, never go you go for any kind of show off and all kind of thing. When people really believe that truly whatever you say you really meant it, definitely they believe in you, they cooperate you, they extend their hands of cooperation, and accordingly, through this exercise, through the reciprocation, a lot can be done, a win-win situation can be observed. So academic leadership is all about encouraging bonds. Human face of administration, as I said, I wanted to depict that, and I really was successful in that. You have to believe human, you have to believe in communication, you have to believe in relationship, you have to believe in integrity and honesty, and accordingly, whatever you do, it will come back to you. When you are honest, definitely honest people, they will approach you. Whenever you want to do something good, definitely good people, they would search you, and accordingly they would launch some initiatives with you, they wish to collaborate with you. That is what that happens. Nurturing connections, it is about diversity and inclusion throughout educational institution. So as I said, having an interaction with International Student Center, having just having an exposure with um, this internal complaints committee. So number of cross-cutting issues like gender issues, like marginalized groups and their motivation, their inconveniences, their reflections, all these, whenever you understand very well, you can address diversity as well as inclusion in the society. Quest for excellence with the feeling of belonging, establishing the groundwork for collaborative involvement and judgment. So this is how these are the various activities which are expected from every teacher. So not everyone would be having a formal leadership, but at our own level, uh, academically, we should assume leadership, and accordingly, some proactive activities we have to deal with regarding nurturing relationship, developing some kind of networking initiatives, then taking your students to different institutions, to different places for collaboration, for various experiences, student exchange program, faculty exchange programs, internship transfers, and all that. So Opportunities are there, only you are required to be ready for that. And the beauty of NEP 2020, when you can do that, definitely with that, you will get pleasure at the end that really I gave my best to my institute, and I'm very much happy that I was a part of that. Someone may say or not, someone may appreciate or not, but when you appreciate yourself, when appreciate your own initiatives, when you appreciate your own efforts, what kind of hard work I did in those days, when I realized that, then at some point in time, I was MBA in those days. I was required to teach to MBA, MCOM course also. So thereafter, I enrolled my name in the Open University for pursuing MBA also. So without any background, I pursued MBA from Karnataka State Open University. I gave justice to that and scored with good marks and enjoyed a lot. At some point in time, MCOM in Management Science, it was launched in our university. So again, I was ready for that because the HOD told all of us that since we have launched MCOM course, and we have launched MCOM ECOM, a specialty program of UGC. When UGC launched that, immediately our institute launched that kind of program, MCOM in e-commerce. Uh, Unfortunately, later on, it was closed down because of some kind of unknown reasons. But when that launched, we experimented with that, and we were very much happy that students also, they were very much happy, and they were confident, and they could get good placements. And again, on the basis of experience, our team was invited to Mumbai University also for guiding them regarding some initiatives. So that was a good thing. During those days, HOD appealed to all of us that everyone should pursue one or two courses in IT and take one or two courses in each semester. So accordingly, I joined Aptech, I joined CDAC course, and accordingly, I just updated my skills and I got new skills. And accordingly, I used to teach e-commerce, I used to teach m-commerce, legal and political issues of e-commerce and all that. So which I never just learned during my studentship. But as a teacher, I used to went 7 to 9 for one course. Directly from there, I used to visit the university. So you had to seek cooperation from your family also. And for seeking for cooperation of your family, you had to do a lot. Especially for ladies, it is not a very easy task. So uh, so that task also was being done because we have basically unlimited capacity, but never our potential we fully utilize. When some responsibility it is just comes to you, when some adversity is posed, definitely you understand that I can do that. When there is a belief that I can do that, you can do that because your potential was never explored until yet. Now, this opportunity makes you just unleash your potential, and then you get the pleasure that really I did my best. So such kind of as a institutional leader, so in due course of time you get membership of various committees, you get leadership positions in various other places also. So as an academic leader, as an administrative leader, at point in time, now your task is to develop a dynamic and cohesive educational ecosystem for the sake of community building efforts. On your own, you have to give a free hand for your own team. You have to be team leader, and you have to respect the talent, aspirations of your team also. Remember that my vice chancellor used to say to some that basic urge of our finance officer is to rely on human relations, to rely on human goodness, appealing to their motives, appealing to their talent. Definitely, you can literally do wonders, even if you are not aware about that. Definitely, with proper mindset, you can convince them, you can just appeal to them, and accordingly, whatever seems to be beyond your capacity, it becomes very easily your cup of tea. So, on my own, number of such examples I can cite, seeing the time constraint. Let us move toward the next slide. So effective leadership is all about who am I? Koham, that kind of exercise, knowing about my own strengths, knowing about my own weaknesses, working on my own weaknesses, and seeing it that whatever choices I'm having on the basis of my own strengths, I have to do that. If at all some weaknesses they are hampering me, then I have to work on those weaknesses and overcome those weaknesses. Then observation of the others, that is again the more important kind of aspect of leadership. Watch others, find out when some good benchmarks around you, and accordingly try to imbibe their competencies among you. Then it is about choosing right leadership style. There are no leadership style. There is democratic leadership style. There is autocratic leadership style. There is laissez-faire leadership style. So whatever suits your personality, whatever suits your personal approach, you are required to adopt that. But adopting that for all situations, for all people, for all problems to just face, that is not the foolproof kind of policy. Depending upon the situation, sometimes you are required to be participative, sometimes you are required to be autocratic, sometimes you are required to be democratic. Depends. Situational call has to be accepted, and accordingly, you can give justice for your task. Crystallize your values and challenges. Uh, Depending upon your childhood conditioning, depending upon your parental influence, your society, your school, your teachers, your colleges, your relatives, your peer group influences, definitely you develop some kind of values. But many times there is a clash of interest, clash of various kinds of initiatives, there are various challenges, and you question your own values. So really it is a tough time. So uh, you are required to be patient and calm during such kinds of turbulent times, and accordingly try to explore yourself regarding your real motive, your real intention, your real personality, and accordingly change if required, make changes in your priorities if required. And in such kind of turbulent times and dilemmas, uh, you must be fortunate enough to have a coach or a mentor to whom you can confide, and accordingly you can have a free talk in case you are stuck up with any dilemma. And always it is better to get a feedback from different persons, maybe from students, maybe from teachers, maybe from peers, maybe from some outsiders, maybe some industry persons, maybe from some your friend circle. At different levels, different stakeholders, they are around you, and as per the requirement, you are required to get a feedback from them, and then you can make some desirable kind of changes among your own personality and regarding your own approach. So effective leadership is about establishing clear communication. Let it be oral, let it be written, let it be formal, let it be formal, structured, unstructured, diagonal, vertical, open, closed, whatever it is. It may be so it may be grapevine communication, but you have to learn the dynamics of communication and present yourself in a very clear, very clear manner in front of the all those around you. Being a role model, definitely that is the ultimate requirement. Already I talked about that. Then setting smart goals, specific, measurable, actionable, relevant, and time bound kind of goals, that is again a very smart move towards success, towards being a successful leader. Commitment for lifelong learning. So it is required not only among the teachers, it is required not only among the leaders, for every person to grow, to enjoy, to move towards fulfillment, to move towards perfection and excellence. This commitment is required for lifelong learning. As I said, number of leadership style, they have been prescribed by different practitioners. So you have to study all of them theoretically, also practically, also through role models, through examples, and accordingly, a single leadership style or maybe a combination as and when relevant and appropriate, you are required to decide upon. Then digital leadership. That is, again, it has become more and more important nowadays to know about digital capabilities. That is the first step. And then leading the transformation from traditional to the digital scenario, that is the second stage. These two stages are very much important. First, you must be very much informative regarding whatever is available regarding digital capability. And secondly, which of these, in uh, how many steps you are going to imbibe for your organization. You are required to make a choice of that, and accordingly, through phases, you are required to execute that by seeking the cooperation from the all levels of the scalar chain. Then you must create a digital vision. You had to convince your team members with that. You must learn how to govern the digital activities. And again, enhancing, now AI technology is with us, so tremendous kind of benefits we can achieve out of this AI kind of tool nowadays with reference to any task which we are performing. Now we know regarding institutional development, role of teachers is just indispensable. Very, very crucial and sensitive role we teachers we are having in the development of the institution, with the help of our dedication, commitment, and motivation, with the help of skill development, with our professional competencies, and more important, we must have an innovative, creative, as well as entrepreneurial approach. Something which has not been tried until yet, we are required to do that. Something which has not been used until yet, we are required to find it out and accordingly deal with that. There is a role of positive thinking, there is a role of lateral thinking in your success in creating a favorable kind of environment in which everyone would feel like giving his or her 100% to the institution. As a leader, you are required to do that. You should stand in front of your student in such a manner that every student feels that this is my organization, this is my classroom, this is my teacher, this is my subject, area of my interest. So I should give my 100% to everyone. So that kind of value-based education you must be able to provide. So, exhibiting, showcasing your values to the student, that is again a part of the game. You are good, but showcasing your goodness in front of the student, that is the need of the hour. Resource management, making the infrastructural facilities and various resources available for the students. So that is your task as an academic leader. There are influential decision makers, there are politicians, there may be some celebrities, whatever it is. You must learn the art of seeking favors for the sake of your students, for the sake of your betterment of your institute. And then we come at the last point of e-governance. E-governance is focusing on providing transparent, equitable, and just accountable kind of service delivery to the citizens, so as to facilitate and improve the quality of governance, and so as to improve uh, participation of the stakeholders in the governing process through digital means. That is the requirement. There are various levels at which this can be done, like debureaucratization, e-services, international services. There are various features, and we are aware about that. Government to citizens, government to government, government to business, government to employees. There are various levels through which uh, you can be able to deal with e-governance. You must learn the dynamics, and with that, uh, as an academic leader, then your task would be at the stage of completion, and you would be happy that I did my best, I gave my 100% to my institute. Now I'm waiting from your side to express your views and your ideas. Just a moment, some So let me check the chat box first. Thank you, roll number 47. Neelam Mahale, Dr. Mahale, Dr. Bhatt, Dr. Vibha, Dr. Rupa Khatun. Thanks a lot. Well, thanks, Dr. Gaikwad, Dr. Chaitali, Dr. Anita, Dr. Mittal, Dr. I mean,
Power.
Redmi Note
Charge.
9 Pro.
No power. Charge.
Just a moment.
Power. Charge. Power. Charge. Power. Charge.
Just Kapadnis is having a query. Thanks for your nice words.
Charge.
Dr. Kapadnis is asking,
Power.
how can NEP 2020 ensure quality, equality, uniform implementation across India when education is a concurrent subject and states differ drastically in funding, infrastructure, language,
Charge.
and teacher capacity? That's what I said.
Power. Please charge.
I said in the beginning that 100% implementation in uniform and standard way, that is not at all possible. And because of that, we teachers, we have to play the role of academic leader. Whatever is relevant and appropriate for me at my own institute, I have to do that. There is diversity. The single approach, it would not be workable for everyone. And because there is, as you said, Dr. Tejas, as you said, education is a concurrent subject and states differ drastically in funding, infrastructure, language, teacher capacity. And because of this diversity, there is a role of teacher as an academic leader. Because as a leader, I have to understand what is good for me, for my institute, for my students, and accordingly see to it that the needful that is getting done. Otherwise, standard guidelines already they are established, but all the standard, and that is what regarding interdisciplinary choices, regarding academic bank of credits, regarding credit transfers, all the options they are not available at this moment for all the institutes. Some institute they are having, some they are not having. But in due course of time, in phases, definitely we'll be reaching a stage where all the conveniences will be having. I hope you have answered your query. Uh, Thank you, Dr. Anita. Sejat Surti has written 90. Okay, that is presenti. I thought, what kind of question is it? Thank you, Prasanta Behera. Thank you, Madhavi Sarkar. Madhavi Sarkar. Thank you, Chaya Balshankar. Anything else? Janvi Solanki. Thank you, Dr. Shevale, Dr. Reena Kumari. Hope that I have reached you. Number of things I wish to share. I tried my best to share many things with you. So when there is an opportunity, some more just initiatives I would like to share with you. And I would like to learn from your side also, whatever you did at your own level. Dr. Shewale is asking, thank you, Dr. Rupa, Dr. Abdul Wahid, Dr. Vikas Gaikwad. Dr. Shewale is asking how NEP help to inculcate multidisciplinary development into students. Regarding multidisciplinary development, with the help of your own examples, you can indicate that, with the help of my own examples, I told you that when I was required to be a president of ICC, so someone may feel that this is a waste of time. As a teacher of management, I have to give time to teaching of management courses. I have to give time for research in management. What I have to do with internal with any kind of student, any grievance settlement of women's harassment in the workplace. But I never thought it that way. I took it as gender sensitization that is very much essential. When as a manager, you wish to get along with the others. Get along with the others. Definitely, you must be aware about the gender issues, gender discrimination, gender equality, and all that. Then you can be in a more effective role as a manager. You can do a lot to influence the others, to impress the others with you. So when I realized that, I took that responsibility that way, and accordingly, I tried to give justice also. So this is how, with the help of several examples, several activities, you can imbibe that feeling of being uh, multidisciplinary, multidisciplinarian. You can imbibe among the students.
Ma'am, namaste. Can I speak?
Sure,
नमस्कार
sure.
ma'am.
Namaste. Namaste.
खूपच एकदम अतिउत्तम एक्सप्लेनेशन झालंय NEP 2020चं. मॅम मी पुण्यातनं बोलतीये. मराठी बोलू ना, चालेल ना? का
हो,
इंग्लिश
चालेल ना.
बोलू?
नाही, चालेल ना. आता आपल्या मातृभाषेचं महत्व आहे NEP 2020 मध्ये, तर मराठीत आपण बोलायलाच हवं.
हो मॅम, आता असं कसं आहे ना, NEP 2020 सुरू झालं तेव्हापासून आम्ही नाही का होलिस्टिक अप्रोच पण घेतलाय कॉलेजमध्ये, व्हॅल्यू ॲडेड एज्युकेशन मध्ये. जेव्हा मी वेळ मिळाली ना, आम्ही त्यांना वळण लावलं की तुम्ही ऑर्गॅनिक हे लावा झाडं. म्हणजे झाडं कशी लावायची आहे, ते काही पण नाही लावायचे. वी शुड गो इन टू हर्बल मेडिसिनल ट्रीज, so that in future when they grow up they will be helpful for medicine in Ayurveda, for the doctors who are upcoming future generation of our nation. It should be helpful to them, and they should go in for innovation ideas and research work and all that. So that was the basic idea of value added education in this. And
Good.
we
That
gave
was
them
a very nice initiative.
and thank you ma'am. आणि काय केलं माहितीये का, किती झाडं लावली. एक जागा विकत घेतली, 7,000 झाडं लावली आम्ही.
बापरे, खूप छान.
हो, स्टुडंट्सला
Very good.
घेऊन आणि फॉलोअप कसं ठेवला की दर शनिवार रविवारी जायचं, ग्रुप बनवायचं आणि जाऊन फॉलोअप घ्यायचं की ट्रीज कुठवर आले, पाणी दिलं, खत बीत नाही टाकायची आहे. शेण टाकलं आम्ही थोडाफार, but otherwise no this thing, pesticides or anything. It was 101% organic only, with the soil, natural soil. Only watering and all that we used to do every week. Follow up घेतला. आता आम्ही आता परवा पण जाऊन आलो आम्ही 26 जानेवारीला. थँक्यू
खूप
मॅम,
छान.
गिव्हिंग मी ऑपॉर्च्युनिटी टू
लॉंग
स्पीक.
लास्टिंग असतात. हो, हे इम्प्रेशन्स आहेत, ह्या इम्प्रेशनेबल स्टेज मध्ये येतात, तर ते लॉंग लास्टिंग आहेत. आता जो नेचर बरोबर जो कनेक्ट डेव्हलप झालेला आहे, तर त्याची खूप जास्त गरज आहे. म्हणजे ग्लोबल वॉर्मिंग थांबवायला तर आहेच आहे, पण
येस मॅम.
स्वतःसाठी पण एक ग्रीनर आपल्याला एन्व्हायरमेंट पाहिजे, त्याच्यासाठी सुद्धा आहे. आणि कदाचित
हो
त्याची अपॉर्च्युनिटी पण
हो
मिळेल
मॅम.
ना सोसायटीसाठी काही
येस
करण्याची,
मॅम. आणि
किंवा स्वतःचा
आजूबाजूची
बिझनेस
जे
आहे.
गावं आहेत ना, आजूबाजूची गावं पण लय खुश झाली लोक. त्यामुळे किती छान वातावरण झालंय इकडे.
हो.
And they are medicinal plants ना, तो natural air में भी smell रहती है ना. Thank you so much ma'am, giving me opportunity
Very
to
good
speak.
initiative. I wish to
Thank you
congratulate
ma'am.
you for that.
Thank you ma'am.
म्हणजे हीच लिडरशिप आहे ना, अकॅडमिक लिडरशिप हीच आहे ना, की आपल्याला जे रुचेल आणि आपल्याला जे जमेल, तर तिथून सुरुवात करायची. आपण प्रत्येक गोष्ट लगेचच जमणारच नाहीये प्रत्येकालाच, पण आपल्या आपल्या कॅपॅसिटी प्रमाणे स्कॉलरशिप आपण आहे तो आपण द्यायला हवाय.
Yes ma'am.
Shall I take your leave now?
मॅम अजून एक सांगायचं होतं मॅम की MSMEs आम्ही डेव्हलप केली आहे आणि 435 सेटअप केली आहे
अच्छा.
MSME. आणि आपण
Very good.
MCEDचं नाव घेतलं ना तेव्हा मला आठवण आली की सांगू मी आपल्याला की MCEDची हेल्प मी पण घेतली आणि खूप छान मदत केली त्यांनी आम्हाला. आणि आपण 435 रुरल एरियाज मध्ये MSME सेटअप केलेले आहे आणि दे आर डुईंग वेल. आणि माझ्या फ्री लिगल एड हेल्प होता त्यांना. म्हणजे उद्यम कार्ड वगैरे करणे, बाकीचे लिगल फॉर्मॅलिटीज आहे, बँक लोन सगळं आम्ही करून दिलं त्यांना.
Which institute you are from?
आय एम फ्रॉम DY पाटील लॉ कॉलेज मॅम, पिंपरी,
Okay.
पुणे.
Very good.
थँक्यू मॅम.
Dr. Murdula Deshpande. Thank to Aarti Khadatkar. Nice to receive so many good words from your side. Inspiring for me. Anita, what she was saying, help us in saying English. So you are facing inconvenience in Marathi conversation. She was, Dr. Ruby, she was saying about her initiative regarding this organic farming and green initiative. She was sharing that experience. Thank you, Dr. Sunita Pawar. Wish you all the best. Let's meet again.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for such an informative and beautiful session, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you, ma'am. Very nice and informative session, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Gaikwad, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. The most beautiful thing, ma'am, you tell me that we should have a positive way of teaching and learning. It will help the learning and teaching the student to create the new ideas, to give the more exposure and to help them to become a future assets, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone, for the attendance.